Okay, hi there. This is Carolette Wright, and I am answering a few questions that was asked of me. And the first question that I was asked was, "What type of vehicle do I suggest?" And this question is a little bit tricky to answer because this is really your business. It's not a bad question, so I'm gonna do my best to answer that for you, and I'm hoping that I'm able to render the solution that you're looking for as I try to understand and decipher the question. If it's anything that you don't understand, just be sure to comment either in the Facebook group, VIP Facebook group, or below this video if you're seeing it from my website, or even from YouTube if you're on YouTube. So there are three different ways you can comment. I will do my best to answer. The best method will be Facebook. So let's go ahead and get started. So really quick, what I would say if you're looking to have a truck or understand what kind of truck you need, my best answer would be for you to make sure whatever you get is very inexpensive, that it's dependable, that it has some towing capacity because you don't know what you're going to be towing in these properties. Even if you're just towing your equipment, you're going to need something that has towing capacity, that has a hitch attached. That way you can have trailers attached to it if you have to haul trash and still need to get your equipment pulled off the site. Or if you just have additional things you need for the property to get it done, you're going to need a hitch as well. So you want to make sure your truck or your vehicle has the hitch attached. And my suggestion is you get a standard cab or more if possible. And I preface if possible. I mean, a lot of you know my story. A lot of you understand, where I started from. And I tell the story not to say this is the only way to do the business, but just to understand that, I mean, this is your business, and it's all about how you start and how you want to start. I mean, I didn't have anything. I had a small car, and we actually outsourced all the towing and the trucking to people in the area who could help us, who had a truck. And once we made some money, we invested it, and we put a hitch on our van. And we used our van as, towing for trash back and forth whenever we needed it. And if it was just too bad, then yeah, I did go ahead and I outsourced the trash hauling, which is very inexpensive, and it actually helped me and kept me from having to, work hard or have my laborers focus on that versus cleaning or cutting the grass. So it's all about what makes sense to your business and what kind of numbers you're looking at. But if you're going to look at a vehicle as far as a truck, I would suggest you get a standard cab or more because it'll reduce the number of trips you have back and forth. But of course, you can make it work without a truck. Just make sure you have someone who does have a truck available for you to use. You can go to U-Haul like we did on several occasions. We would go to U-Haul and rent a truck for a certain amount of days or hours, and we would just pay the mileage on the truck. So it's all about how you think and if you're thinking of solutions. So like I said, if you are in the business, I would not suggest you go buy a brand new truck. I mean, that is just not what I would do. I would go either get something very inexpensive, something that you can have small payments on. Here's an example of a truck. It's a small truck, and if you have a hitch on the back, as you can see, be mindful of that because now you have less capacity to be able to haul trash away. Now, if you get a hitch put on here, then you might be okay. But if you're working with something like this, you can get started with it. It's nothing wrong with it. Start with where you are, prosper where you're planted, but just know that you may have more than one trip for something of this size. It's very small. Here's another one that does not have a hitch. It's a small truck as well. It'll do just fine in the business. It'll haul trash back and forth. It'll help you as much as you can get done on the properties. Another example of a small trailer, a small cab truck. Here's one as well. But like I said, I recommend you get a standard cab at least. That'll give you the most bang for your buck on getting things hauled off the property. Okay. And one thing you need to make sure you you be considerate of, or be concerned of, is the size of the truck the cab size and any fees associated. So if you just fill the bed up with trash, and I'm not sure what area, these prices are for Ohio. So if you live in Ohio, I suggest you go down to the local dump and find out what the fees are, even for different locations in the area, so you kind of can have an idea, how much trash is going to cost you to dump it. Just make sure whatever you do, do not dump it, on any unauthorized site. Make sure you're being legal and ethical, and you're dumping this trash and debris at a dump site, or recycle location, or you're turning it in at the Goodwill and getting tax credit for it. Okay, so let's make sure that you know the cost associated. You might be making $300, $400 just to haul the trash, but you had to do like 7 or 8 loads, and you want to make sure you fill that cab as much as possible to save a little money if needed. Be mindful of the levels you're working with, and just play with the numbers, play with the costs, and understand exactly what you're doing. So that's pretty much it. I recommend you get a standard cab or more. If you're going to get a truck, don't buy new. Make sure that it is dependable and it can tow, and you have a hitch attached. And if you don't have a truck, you can find someone that has a truck. You don't have to be stuck, thinking you can't get started without a truck. It's all about what you want to do, your will and determination, how much money you have to invest where you're starting with. If we had the finance when I first got started, I would have had a truck. But like I said, I did not need it. I was growing a business. I just outsourced the work. And my plan was never to do it, myself. It was just to get the business started up, to understand what was expected so I can train people and I can understand and feel what my workers will feel by me being in the field as well. So having that, that commonality of understanding the jobs is very important. So enough said. I hope that helps. I hope I answered the question well. I really am unsure, but I do hope that gave you some value and some insight of what I would do. Get a standard cab truck, or just start where you are. Prosper where you're planted. Okay? Take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.